The MCU. That is, the Monster Cinematic Universe. During the war, audiences had a keen appetite for monsters of a more fantastical and, let's say, less bigoted genocidal nature. Universal had them covered, dominating the scene once again just as they had a decade prior. With a strong catalogue of iconic characters and reusable archetypes firmly established, the studio smartly planned a series of crossover events, pioneering the concept of a shared cinematic universe. House of Frankenstein was not the first crossover. That honour belongs to 1942's Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, which, as the title implies, slammed the two biggest monsters of the early 40s together in a 1v1. With the waters now safely tested, House of Frankenstein was free to really go all out with a bigger Royal Rumble. Count Dracula, the Wolfman, the Frankenstein monster, a hunchback, and a mad scientist, all in one film, like some lovely classic horror fans' monochrome wet dream.
Oh no!
Boris Karloff is back, but not as the Frankie monster, having retired that role a couple movies prior. Here he plays Dr Niemann, a fan of Dr Frankenstein who has been locked in prison for many, many years for attempting some experiments. But he hasn't just been twiddling his thumbs, no. He's been honing his craft, aspiring to achieve even greater feats of mad science than his idol. Along with his hunchback cellmate called Daniel, he breaks out of jail and plots new experiments and revenge against the three men who locked him away. Their journey is fraught with murder and schemes, crossing paths with travelling showmen, beautiful gypsies, and indeed, the cast of assorted monster boys. Dr. Niemann is adept at making large promises that tailor to each monster's personalized traits, but it soon comes to light that the Mad Doctor may not be able to deliver on his wild words. House of Frankenstein is a lot of fun. The first act of the film features some non-stop pacing and action-packed set pieces that are just pure joy from a Universal monster fan's perspective. That said, I recognise my admiration for the film may fall under the guilty pleasure bracket. The script is a little lazy at times, and certain parts of the film feel a little too fragmented. Dracula's involvement, for example, exists as a brief short story within the main narrative in a way. He's introduced, he hastily does what the plot asks of him, and then he's gone. The story absolutely could exist without Dracula at all. But he's motherfucking Dracula, so just stick him in there somewhere. That's not strictly a negative on the film. I'm glad they got the old boy in there somehow. Though, John Carradine would never find his way onto my list of favourite on-screen Draculas. The continuity of these films can be iffy, but Lon Chaney Jr.'s Laddie Talbot remains a constant bright spark of the series, and here is no exception. Bless the hairy fool, I just want to give him a hug. His involvement is one of the crucial connecting links to the previous entry in the series too, so he does a lot of the heavy lifting in the whole shared universe concept.
You came here to ask Frankenstein for help, didn't you?
Yes, but I was too late. He was dead.
With so many characters around, he's not given much time to actually be the Wolfman, but he does what he can, saying fuck you to this door in particular. Frankenstein's monster gets a bigger shafting, only coming alive in the final 5 minutes or so, but he does what he can, saying fuck you to this window in particular. Danny the Hunchback is a great new character too, with very clear and understandable motives. His romantic woes over the gypsy woman should be very relatable to any frustrated incels who might be watching.
You're mean, and you're ugly. I hate you! I hate you!
On that note, Ilonka the gypsy manages to transcend the usual love triangle subplot, and is, shock horror, actually given something to do in the end, torn between her love for the Wolfman and the urge to plug him with a silver bullet. What else is there? Oh yes, here's the monster escaping with Dr. Niemann. Oh, wait, that's definitely not Boris Karloff. Jesus, Universal, you're not even trying to hide it. Alright, I'm just rambling now, so I'm gonna go off and watch House of Dracula. Oh man, they should really try and reboot this whole monster cinematic universe idea again someday. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, no, no.